Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Hey, y'all. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in to the episode of RAERAEs Review, where me and my homegirl Erin gonna let you know about the What's Going Down episode of the Real Housewives of Orange County. We are live, y'all. We are live. We are live. Can you tell? Please help me welcome Erin to the stage, y'all.
Hello, aunts and unks. How are you? Happy Saturday. Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. Couldn't do it without you. May have to, but I don't want to do it without you.
We try to not. We try to avoid that. We are committed to bringing you our two perspectives on this thing we call the Real Housewives of Orange County.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we are often like-minded, and then, like you said, every now and then we gotta, maybe there's like one point of the show where we don't see it that same way, but we know that you all don't see it the same way either, and I hope that at least one of us hits exactly what you were trying to say, because that's what I like about a good review show.
Yes. These shows, provoke so much perception. Mm-hmm. Like what I mentioned before, certain demographic of people perceive that one thing differently than another based on their life experience, education, all these different factors. So it's all for reality TV and for the good of the show, as long as production gives it to us the right way.
Oh no,
girl. But I like this episode. I love, that, okay, I have to be honest. That was my first time recognizing that those flowers are called wisteria. I love that. I've always loved those flowers, the way they drape down and different things I've seen, shows or movies or what have you. Girl, I'm looking for some for my backyard. I'm not kidding.
Oh, I could see it for sure.
Oh, with the lights I got about to be hung up and
all of it was very atmospheric. It was.
But I want mine's fake, because I want mine to just, lay out and just be there all the time.
I think hers were too.
They were? Okay.
Yeah. No, because at first when she was putting them up, I'm like, this is going to look janky. And then it didn't. It actually looked cute. So I understand why you were impressed, because it did. She pulled it off.
I love that. It's just so whimsical,
Mm-hmm.
So beautiful. Of course, it was part of the spring fling that we're going to discuss later. But let's get into it, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Jen and Gretchen, they said that it's just a cute little something. I wonder why we couldn't have that scene extended. It just seems so, we're going to take a chunk of this scene and give it. It was just so unexplained, just them sitting down and Gretchen kind of, played a little more innocent than what she was when she was explaining what happened down to the tactical training scene thing we discussed last week. Just not really owning up to her starting all of this, trying to make it like she had less of an impact in that whole conversation than Heather and who's the other girl she was with? Emily was. Do you agree or what?
No, I totally agree. And like the thing is, Gretchen, you said banging so and so. Nobody would have even thought about that if you hadn't have said it. So,
Mhm.
you just gotta take some responsibility there.
Mhm.
And also, it's just so interesting how I don't believe that you should necessarily take responsibility for your partner. But if your partner is like talking schmack and is like your advocate, you know what I mean? Like there is a
Mhm.
certain level of responsibility I would take for what my husband said on this show, or my life partner, boyfriend, whatever.
Hello.
So
Essentially, they were co-signing each other because Gretchen
yeah.
never once not said, "Don't say that. That's not true. Let's not go there." She just let it go on because, again, as soon as Emily asked that question, the immediate next, well, I hope production ain't playing us, but the next immediate response was, "Oh, when she was banging so and so." Wait, what?
Mhm.
And then that
Yeah.
to a whole nother thing about was she married, what was going on, and all these different, qualifiers that would make Tamara look like they wanted her to look.
Mhm.
Gretchen,
Exactly.
you my girl, you my girl, but we got calling you out, and you are not absolved from being the more innocent one in that when you started it. So gather yourself, mamas, gather yourself. Just saying.
Yeah, it's interesting because I wonder if Gretchen had come into this season being like, we both went after each other. I went after you in the past because it really kind of started off, you started it. But
Mhm.
like this whole idea that like they haven't played in the mud of gossip and rumor and all that kind of stuff,
Right.
it's like, girl,
Mm.
you have officially entered the chat. You entered when you lied. I mean, like you can't claim innocence now. We got two big whoppers that we're dealing with you.
Hello. The Katie thing
Uh-huh.
and the Tamara thing.
The hospital. I went to the hospital, did I not? I mean, we got you lying on camera. I misspoke. Okay. Well, that's it's a synonym for lying.
I was terribly mistaken.
Yeah, right.
Say all the nice things, but it all mean the same, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then you're doubling down by representing that thing that you misspoke on. You're running with that narrative versus
Right.
something else. So, girl, we see you, mamas. It's okay. That's what, again, reality TV is a great place to be, to make money, to be known, to keep your name in folks' mouths. But I, again, like I've said before, would have appreciated you and your man coming in playing the victim versus trying to out someone or have some get, because it just seemed like y'all here for get back. I'm sorry. It looks that way. That's anyway.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of like how I told you. It's like you're not you either come into this being the victim like we had discussed, or you admit that you're slinging mud back and forth, that you're both in it, and that neither one of you are innocent. But trying to play this weird hybrid doesn't work because we
Yeah,
see you, like you said, we see you. We see you.
hybrid Rossi.
Uh yeah.
That's her nickname, hybrid.
Really, seriously. Because yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't appreciate the fact that she is up against Tamra, because I do think Tamra needed a an opponent, right? I think Tamra did need somebody that disliked her that much, because Tamra has been an a-hole. But at the same time, trying to act like she's not doing anything isn't working because
Mm.
we see you.
Yes, ma'am. Now, speaking of seeing you, Jennifer, whatever your last name is, if you put one more piece of luxury, is it right? Is it real? I just remember something. Well,
Yeah.
I'll say for sake's sake, stop putting your luxury bags on the floor. What's wrong with you? You better be glad it wasn't Louis Vuitton, or I would have had to write you a letter. How dare you? I had to read it real quick.
Yeah, that was crazy. They did show her little purse on the floor.
On the damn floor. Girl, what's wrong with you? Forget all that wives' tale. Why don't you put probably ain't real, maybe. Like Tara said, she walked around with fake. Anyway, okay, Tamara and Eddie, y'all. I ain't gonna, well, we gonna get on Jen later because talking about getting caught. Tamara and Eddie, they're getting ready for the spring fling party. I like their relationship, but something tells me something is awry with them because it just don't add up how Tamara can be all of this to everybody else, but at home. And Eddie just doesn't seem like the type that will put up with how she's behaving with her friends. I don't get it.
I don't think he puts up with it. Like, I think it's that simple. Like, I just think that if she tries to yell or be like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I mean, they have been together a long ass time, and I feel like they kind of have their situation worked out. I don't know. I don't know. I Eddie always seems mildly annoyed anyway. Like he just does. And I don't think he's necessarily a big fan of the camera. He knows it's a necessary evil. I think, they never talk about it on the show because they don't want to give Bravo any money. But they have a busy THC company, Vina
Right.
CBD. So I think they're gonna try to sell that in a couple years. So, I don't know. He's a bit of an enigma because he does have his own podcast with Edwin. So I don't know how much he hates the
With
spotlight.
who? Edwin who?
Teddy's husband, the two Eddies, I think is what it's called. I have never
You
listened.
kidding me?
I am not.
Wait, her sooner be wait.
Yeah. Because they're gonna make some money, honey.
So
They're gonna make some money.
Eddie Judge
Yes.
has a podcast with what's her husband's name?
Edwin Arroyo or Edwin, I think it's Arroyo.
Child. And they call themselves the two Eddies.
I believe so, yeah. I have not listened to one single episode, not even a clip. That sounds like the most boringest ever. Do you know what I mean?
I'm gonna take a sip. Well, Eddie fine, so I'll give him that. That's pretty much all I can do with him. As he ages, he's just a very he has some good genes. That man look good. I mean,
he does. I've always thought he was attractive.
Girl. Well, I think Tamara lies. Her how she describes these conversations and these situations, and then Eddie runs with it like it's okay. She's telling me this. See, and remember how I said how they tell their perception of what was said when they just say what was said. Try verbatim, and I promise you, 35% of Tamara's issues with people would be better because she drums it up in her mind as what she sees it as, and how she perceives things are incorrect for the situation.
Just FYI,
Yeah.
I looked it up because where I was wrong. It's called The Eds. Husbands Know Best. Get out of here.
Change that. Sorry.
I know. Go to the two Eddies. Go to the two Eddies because I don't know what the hell. Yeah. I don't know if they're still on. I'm pretty sure that they were. I mean, anyway, sorry, I digress. But yeah, They don't know best.
Girl.
Listen, those
Yeah,
two ladies are trying to build. They're trying to build all they can. I understand. I don't listen to half that crap, but yeah, I get it.
girl, everything is gonna be one big old podcast in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all good as long as it's entertaining. People, like it. It's being viewed. Hats off. Everything ain't for everybody, but
Sure.
just make sure it's some good conversation, and you'll win. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I have to say that I do think that being a podcaster has impacted Tamara's performance on the Real Housewives of Orange County, and not for the better. I think that ever since Tamara has come back, while she was doing the show, the way that her, and I know I've said this before, I'll say it again, the way that her and Teddy dissect these shows on their podcast and review them, they talk about it like sports. Like you're going to be going into a scene and you're trying to
Mm.
move the story and you're trying to be, um, be authentic in the moment. They talk about it like they're doing a performance and a job. And
Mm.
I feel like we are watching Tamara, this absolute episode included, because when she gets to that fake crying ass shit with Heather, oh my god, I was yelling at the TV. Um, I just think that they have lost perspective, and Tamara, the way that she approaches this is no longer natural on the show, and it's unfortunate because she thinks she's doing a great job, and it's like, no, we are watching you like be mechanical almost.
Maybe she's maybe it's on purpose. She's fake quitting a lot, or maybe she's trying to play victim to gain more sympathy. I don't know. But I did feel like she was being performative with Heather towards the end. It just seems different in her voice and everything. She
Mm-hmm.
seemed more authentic with Emily when they had their issue at the beginning. But yeah, she needs to find out more about herself and come to grips with
Yes.
how she deals with people and her mindset, because when she and Heather were talking, she made it seem like she's the victim when there's no victim. There's just needs to come a meeting of the minds. But sometimes if there's a mind that is so immature or not mature enough to understand and comprehend the situation, then you're always going to butt heads, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just think, like you said, Tamara needs a connection with some self-perception. Because I think she thinks she's doing a good job, and it's like, no, you are too performative. It's really annoying.
Mhm.
And you want everyone on the cast to get over what you do, like everyone's being performative. But you have said and done things that are so egregious that people don't want to.
And she doesn't think that she should be perceived that way because
Right.
she feels like she's a good friend and that trumps the bullshit that she's done to people. No, Heifer, that's not how life works. Once you
Mm-mm.
do something so egregious to someone that it alters the friendship in
Yep.
any way, you have to accept however they deal with you, if they deal with you. Am I
Exactly.
lying? I mean, I don't know.
Nope. Tell it. Tell it.
I mean, and how she thought Heather was yelling at her. No, that's her holding your ass accountable. Perhaps no one has done that in that way. But again, Heather's my girl. That's why Heather is my girl. Heather gets it.
She does. Honestly, you can say what you want about Heather. And sometimes, like we saw in this episode, she gets upset over dumb shit because she doesn't have enough going on. But um I also I do respect her as an actress. I remember when she was on the soap opera, that One Life to Live. Like I remember
Mhm.
that. I watched her. So like I respect Heather as an actress. Um but I do think Heather gets it. And yes, I agree.
So more with Tamara, she's just describing her friendships with Eddie, and of course he's supporting her. Now, what she said about Gretchen, both of them pretty much agree.
Yeah,
She's
they
telling
hate her.
him how okay. She's telling him how Gretchen, bad mouthed her when they were on their trip and everything. And no, I'm sorry, girl. Okay, that was the other conversation they had. Bad mouthing her at the tactical
Yeah.
defense event and saying that she has so much on her, and Gretchen was a little punk puss when it came to that, because you can't bring it out if you ain't gonna use it. Just saying.
Right.
Just
Don't
saying.
threaten me. Don't threaten me with a good time. You better show me one. You better show me
Hello.
one.
And we're mortal enemies, girl. Shoot your shot, girl.
Yeah.
Please. And anyway, so she was, upset about that. And I love how they showed how how the girls got invited, because if y'all watched last episode when that whole scene went down, Tamara stormed out. But in this episode, they show her come back in and invite all the girls to the spring fling, and not you, bitch.
Yep. I mean, I can't say I blame her. I can't say I blame her. Like, I think, yeah. I can't blame you, Tamara. Look, I may be dancing all over your grave and putting, lots of criticals, but there are some moments where I'll give you when it's fair, and I can't blame you one little bit for looking at her being like, "Not you, bitch."
I mean, pretty much that goes without saying, but I wish Gretchen would have had a comeback. I mean, Gretchen, girl, why are you not responding? And don't try and make it seem like you're this holier than thou Christian. What would Jesus do? Because that's not how you've been acting.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
That's not how you are portraying being Christ-like. Christ-like is to be a Christian by true definition. So, you just do you, mama, and just don't do you so bad that it may spoil. Girl, I just wish you would have had to come back, because you ain't gonna come in here and tell me I ain't invited. And I would have had something to at least say something. Don't just not say anything. I don't like that. And then the Jen part. Child, why? So this is when we find out that Jen, the single white female
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about that. It doesn't really help her case. Yeah.
See. So apparently, y'all remember the story. So after it all came out that Gretchen lied for the sake of the show about Tamara screwing one of the boy band members out, so immediately after they left, apparently at 5:22 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's just make sure it's Pacific Standard Time. Jen started to follow that particular boy band member. And again, Jen doesn't know people know people. And how Tamara found out is she called the wife of the specific boy band member, and she said, yeah. So apparently the wife knows what's in her man's DM, as she should.
Well, her wife, I think, reached out to Tamara and said, hey, by the way, she said, girl, look who's following my husband now. So Tamara is obviously friends with this person and his wife. And his wife is obviously Team Tamara, because she wouldn't be sharing that information if this was a woman that, or if, and I highly doubt this woman would be such good friends with Tamara if there's a recording of them doing it.
Again, Jen, get your purse off the floor.
That's funny. You need to coin that phrase now. When you're acting stupid, get your purse off the floor. because
Get your purse off the floor.
well, there was no reason to follow. Like how I think Heather asked that. Why'd you even follow? Like why? Well,
And she bold-faced lied.
in case he wanted to say something to me. What do they want to say to you? They don't want to talk to you. Get out of here.
They might as well be talking to me.
Yeah, they don't. Like what? Like
who are you?
Yes. Who are you? You are a fellow castmate on a show that, yes, you guys are mortal enemies, but most people right now, sort of, most people, especially if they're in the entertainment industry who happen to live in Orange County, are not going to give a shit. They're not going to want to engage with you for a storyline. I am sure that the dude that it's allegedly 98 degrees, by the way, like the guy named Phil, I don't know, I gotta look it up anyway, but that's just one of my Facebook groups that's common knowledge. It's one of the 98 degrees dudes. That like maybe he's glad that he's getting a little bit of attention because they're speculating, but they aren't saying who it is, so it's not like he's really getting free press. You know what I mean? Like it's like nobody wants to be drawn into this crap, Jen.
Jen is a fan.
She is. I will, yeah.
Obviously, she's a fan, and her and Katie have a lot in common.
When she dropped Katie cold, faster than a hot stone, hot potato, whatever hot thing you want to throw in there, she said, I'm trading you in for Gretchen. Boop.
Jen knows where her bread is buttered. She's a good liar, but Tamara clocked that tea. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that's the one thing Tamara's right on is about Jen, where she lies, and tries to change the narrative to get out of it. Because she stone cold lied to everybody who's questioning her, and then questions them for questioning her because she can do what girl. And they smooth let her get away with it. Nah, dog.
It's just weird. Like, yeah, whatever. But I think that Jen and Ryan have ponied up with Gretchen and Slade, and they're on a Tamara hate train.
For sure. Because Jen DM'd Gretchen SOS Tamara, and then Gretchen responded. So that's how they based their friendship, off of the hate for Tamara.
And now they like being nice little blonde women together. Meanwhile, they do have a knife behind their back.
I was going to say something, but I decided to not to.
Well,
yeah, Jen. I don't see it for you, girl. I'd rather hear what Katie got to say at this point.
Well, looks like we're gonna be getting that pretty soon.
Okay, next episode, Tamara gonna meet with Katie. Hello, we gonna girl.
And Emily got upset.
Heather and Shannon have lunch, or no, they have the broken art.
Yeah, they put pieces of a cup back together.
Ain't that, girl? That's something everybody should have been doing, except for that damn cake making gluten-free, sugar-free, taste-free cake.
Yeah, really.
But I like that idea, and I love how Heather is deliberate with with Shannon. Based on when she asked Shannon to leave her home, was that season 11 or 12 or something like that, maybe 13. I don't know. That was a while ago when she was still married to Homeboy.
It was their first season together, I think.
Girl, when she told her to get out, like you see how I changed the perception and the narrative by saying she told her to get out versus she asked her to leave.
Yep.
That's what these ladies are doing, which is making people think more harshly or differently about the person they're speaking about. Like, so again, they need to practice verbatim.
Yeah, but Heather did basically tell Shannon to get out.
She did.
In a nice way, but yeah, she did.
In her face.
I'd like you to leave.
My children are here.
Yep.
Please leave.
There we go. There we go. Well, listen, Emily did it to Katie. I think you should leave. I think you
Well,
should
I
go.
think I shouldn't.
Yeah.
I would have sat my look. I almost said something. I would have. I would have sat my behind right there and said, "Let's continue with the scene. Uh-huh. I'll leave when it's over. You ain't kicking me out. Call the popo." It was just so mean, girl. I didn't like that at all, Emily.
Nope.
Anywho, what was I saying? Oh, the broken art, putting the pieces back together, and then they discussed Tamara. And then also Heather's IMDb is in question again. Heather's like, again, Heifer? Yeah, I have to keep proving to y'all that I have these bullet points on my IMDb. But the way Shannon, it was just a really unnecessary conversation piece that they were discussing or laughing at her being an actress or a comedian.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. I think Shannon is not over things with Tamara. She doesn't want to be friends with her. She's not over it. I understand. She doesn't want everybody to force her to be friends with her again, even though everybody's kind of trying to do that, right? And so I think any opportunity to kind of like and Heather has remained very much firmly in support of Tamara and her too, like trying to, help everybody kind of thing. So I just think that Shannon is kind of happy to deliver news like that. Even though it's kind of unnecessary. And really what you're doing is you're upsetting Heather more than anything.
That part. Because, I don't know. I don't think Shannon is that obtuse to know that that would have upset Heather the way it did, or made Heather, want to have a conversation with that person or these people. Stop going after Heather's career when, this may sound harsh, but who else has had one on this show? Just asking, who else? This is y'all's career. Heather has more than this to fall back on for whatever the reason. Maybe it's a little envy there. I don't know.
That might be it. I mean, she definitely has the best financial setup of everybody.
She's an accomplished woman. She should be, proud of her accomplishments, especially in the game of entertainment. It's not easy, and for her to be on a what, 3 different shows, I think, the soap, the comedy, and it was something else, I forget.
Yeah, I think she was on like Will and Grace. I mean, she's done a lot of guest spots. Like she was really a working actress before she did.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure push come to shove, if something came up, she would probably jump on it because she still looks good to be 49, 50, or however old she is. And just because in entertainment you age out at a certain point, but she still looks good. She still has charisma, poise. She has all the things that if they called her as of 11:35 this morning, then yeah, she would be ready. It's like she stays ready, so she ain't got to get ready.
Yeah, they kind of like to mock her having a career in entertainment, but she does. It's legitimate. I think that's unfair.
It really is. And Gina and Emily, they go on this back and forth scene stuff where they're shopping for a dress for Tamara's spring spring bling, whatever it's called. You mean tell me they got nothing in their closet to wear? They just want to go shopping? I'm just saying, I thought Travis warned her about shopping for stuff when she already got a closet full of stuff. Didn't he tell her that about 3 episodes ago?
Yeah, well, she got a closet full of crap. Like, I've never thought Gina was the greatest dresser.
But I can't tell you, that dress you picked out was really cute. I liked it. It was a little short, like girl, but it was really cute for her. Looked really good on her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I think that dress was tasteful. Did you not like it?
No, it was cute. It was cute.
Oh, okay. I thought I
Yeah,
heard you
no.
snicker.
Oh no, no, no. No. I'm trying to remember everybody's dress. I didn't really like Shannon's.
Nah, Shannon looked like she's going to church. No offense to going to church, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I get it was a floral, but it wasn't really though.
I think it was laced over a bodice of sorts. It
Yeah,
looks like something I have in my closet right now, as a matter of fact, but it's more of an apricot color. I think it
yeah,
had like flowery lace or something on it, but
yeah.
they're going back and forth, pretty much discussing Tamara, and it's all about Tamara's aggression from Gina and Emily's perspective, and a little bit of Heather too. She doesn't like how boisterous and loud Tamara gets when she was trying to explain to Tamara about her own father, and Tamara pretty much shut her down. So it's all about how and we all see it. She gets loud, she storms out, and it's just a big old commotion when she needs to learn how to argue with people without all of that. Especially, she says she loves you and they're my friends. It's like, why are you shouting when we're just trying to have a conversation?
She is completely unemotionally regulated. She's emotionally unregulated. She's having what they would call, like typical, like most therapists would say like trauma responses and whatever, but it's like, it's kind of like how sometimes Emily will get unhinged too. It's like when you reach a certain level of emotional activation, it's just like the reaction becomes irrational. And I think that's kind of why everybody was, just to reference another show, everybody was applauding Bronwyn, was because Lisa Barlow clearly got so emotionally charged about the situation that she no longer was able to make sense. And Bronwyn was able to stay calm enough that she could still deliver an argument to her and just, roasted her.
Without yelling and screaming at the top of her
Right.
lungs and all of those
Without
emotional things that gets in the way. Like, girl,
sucker, like,
insult me and my husband's sex life. What?
yeah, irrational insults that weren't even landing. Yeah.
So yeah, me and my husband have sex, but that's not the point, Lisa. I mean,
yeah.
Shout out to Brownman Newport. Yeah, so Tamara, girl, I wonder if she's friends with Lisa. So yeah, Tamara, they're gonna need you to tone that down, pipe down. We don't know if it's Napoleon syndrome or what, but girl, stop shouting at the top of your lungs. Unless you arguing like you were with Gretchen, that's understandable. You going back and forth. But when you're trying to resolve matters with a friend and they're coming at you with love and grace, how about return serve, lady? Just, read the room. Again, can she comprehend?
Yeah. Sure.
Sometimes people have lived in a certain bubble to where they think what they're doing and saying is apropos, when no, we need for you to be a little more educated on something so you can understand how to respond. Because not everybody can understand how to respond. They just want to respond. It's how you respond that determines how far we'll move forward. I mean, does that make sense?
It does.
All right, Tamara, yeah, girl. Jen takes her son Dawson. What her other son that came with her? I didn't catch it.
I think that's the one. That must be the one that is at USC with the big college debt.
Yeah, he looked familiar. I just didn't catch that part.
Yeah.
So Jen and her son take her other son Dawson to get a tattoo. Apparently, they got some footages of him as a child wanting this tattoo. It is want to be in the military of sorts, and he'll get this tattoo of that. So this isn't anything new for Dawson, the one that's going away that just turned 18. Oh yeah, he signed his that brother's tuition check. There you go.
The loan, yeah, as a
Yeah, okay.
co-signer.
So yeah, so they're there to support him. And then he kind of passes out during it. I've never heard of that before. And then they bring him back. Not like he's just totally out. He just kind of has a little fit of sorts, some reaction to him getting a tattoo. And I hear one of the workers, oh, this is something normal that people, can go through. I think they may give him a smelling salt of sorts or something, or
Yeah.
something to ingest. Seemed like he ate something.
They might have given him a little bit of sugar or juice or something after, but I thought they might have went and got smelling salts too, but you can also use rubbing alcohol to bring them back.
Yes, he said that.
And yeah, I believe it or not, I actually apprenticed to do body piercing when I was like 21 because of a guy for like 2 seconds. It was not for me, but I did intern in a tattoo shop for a little bit. And I can attest, this is just your body reacting to pain and an influx of adrenaline. Like a couple of people in some of the groups are like, he was clearly having a seizure and needed that. I'm like, I'm tattoo artists and people in these shops have enough, like they know how to deal with this. This is part of their living. I'm not saying that situations don't arise, all of that kind of stuff, but like these are professionals that are used to dealing with people that have these kinds of responses. And I think, obviously you saw how quickly they all react and how calm they all stayed because they're like, we got this, relax.
And it reminded me of a scene from Still Magnolias,
right?
When Julia Roberts' character, who has childhood diabetes, like type 1, was going into some type of fit or shock, very similar to how Dawson was, where she needed some sugar. I guess her sugar was too low.
Yeah.
And they needed to get her back to standard. So they gave her some orange. People say, oh, I need some orange juice. I don't feel, so they gave her a little orange juice, a piece of candy, something to spike her, get her better in the moment, to spike it up, like quick bolus of glucose in her system, some sugar, so that she can stop having these fits, which could turn worse, which is similar to, in my opinion, it was similar to Dawson. Not saying that he has but it was similar. If anyone saw Still Magnolias, then it was, and if you didn't watch this episode, that's exactly how it looked, with the fits and the little not really coherent kind of, fainting light, but yeah.
And if he went into it not liking needles, his adrenaline was already like, so he was already priming himself for kind of a little episode, but he's all right.
Yeah, and he was explaining his tattoos. He's getting 4 7s across the upper part of his chest, and a part of that was his mom's birthday. Do you recall what the other 7 meant, or in total?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, you know what I mean? I was like a little bit of it, like some of these scenes when they're with their kids, I'm a little bit like, okay.
But the one thing that was, as a mom with a son, just as a mom, period, is to know that your child wants to do a certain type of assignment in the military. They call recon. And that's when it's somewhat, now this is all dangerous, of course, but that's when they go in and do a lot of the grunge work, of whatever they're trying to accomplish, the goal. And first line of defense, sorta. Again, it's all
They go
dangerous.
in and like secure that. My dad was an Army Ranger,
Yeah.
and he was an airborne Army Ranger. So he was during the Vietnam War. They would parachute into combat zones and secure the area
Yeah.
for the rest of the troops to come in. So it's a potentially incredibly dangerous position because you are like going into the hot zone to like secure it for everyone else.
Mm. Mm. Girl, and she's crying, talking about. I feel for you, Jen. You know,
Yeah, I
feel
agree.
for you, girl. Because I mean, somebody got to do it. I'm just saying, you know. And
Well,
I
and
just.
I feel bad because these young men don't know like PTSD. They don't know what seeing some of the horrors that veterans have seen, and they don't know how they'll react. You know, it's really tough. A lot of combat veterans really struggle with what they encounter and then trying to live productive, normal lives. So it's scary, not to mention the fact that, you know, it's not even just your emotional mental health that's at stake. You could easily die. So, you know, it's intense for sure.
Yeah, hats off to anybody in the military. Not for me, thank you. But
Thank you for your service.
of course, thank you
Right? Yeah.
for your service. We wish all of you well, and we want you to come back. So
Mhm.
make us proud, as we already are. Just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can understand, you know, her as being a mom. She's just, that's your assignment. Like, you can't do nothing
Yeah.
else. You can't go back and cook for everybody.
I know, right? Yeah.
Oh boy. Anywho, so big ups to Dawson. We're gonna hear great things about him in the near future. Yes. And no more tattoos, boo boo.
Yeah, you might need to lay off that. You don't react that well. That's
Girl.
okay.
Next week, speaking of reacting, hello, Emily and Shane. They're talking to their twin. They are so identical. Um, and I love that they are progressing with their family dynamic. We didn't see the daughter. They only have 3 kids. Is that right?
Shane has 2 daughters from a previous marriage.
Okay. But
But we
them,
don't
they have
really ever
3.
see them. Yes, the 3 they have 3 children, yes.
Okay. We didn't see the 12-year-old. We saw her the other episode, her and her beautiful mane. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
But yeah, so Emily and Shane are talking to their twins and they're having funny moments. And he's in one of the twins that they're having more issues with. They're learning that he's not a great reader, something to where there's a reading deficit, and they didn't understand that he's in the 4th grade already. So she was shocked to know that his reading capabilities are in the poor range. And also, she's noticed a positive change because Shane's parenting has more loving effect in it, and that made for a positive reinforcement within the child that they're having more issues with. But also, what I like to say is, I love how a few episodes ago, maybe in the beginning, how the twin that doesn't have the issue that they're discussing, he wanted a therapist too, so that he has someone to talk to as well. And I thought that was pretty cool because he didn't want to be left out, but he wanted, you know, to, like, it was like something in solidarity with his brother, is how I took it. So Emily and Shane are fostering that, so they both have their separate therapists that they talk to, and so far so good. What do you have to say about that?
I kind of wish they would keep a little bit more of his business out the streets. Like, I wish that
Mm-hmm.
we didn't quite know the specifics about Luke's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But their energy between the two of them seemed better. And you know, that little boy has Shane's sense of humor. like the jokes he makes
Yes.
and stuff. I'm all, you might want to get Shane tested, okay? Because I mean, just saying, there are so many of us, especially when you get into our generation and all of that, where, you know, the neurodivergence has been here for forever. We just are only now recognizing it a little bit more, you know? Um, but I was happy to see that Shane was trying a different approach because um I don't think that the way he was looking at it before was maybe necessarily working. So, you know, but this is an illustration of the journey that I think every parent has to go on when they are finding it, when they're hitting a wall with their child and they have to get educated and learn and adjust in order to help their kid be successful. Um, so I'm just always struck by, no matter what, the two of those little boys, especially Luke, because we haven't, I think the other one is Keller. Sorry if I'm pulling that name out of my ASS.
I think it is. Yeah.
I am always struck by how, like, he's a very smart, funny little boy.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm just happy to see that it seems like they have a little bit better handle on things, that although they're still learning about all the complexities, that um, they're coming at this with a loving, supportive attitude.
Wow. You know, on another tip, Deanna in the chat, hey Deanna, she brought up a good point. Like, how do you not know your child really can't read as well? Like, where are you? Are you, you know, what have you not been doing? There's something amiss here. And then I said, I wonder, is there anything, does it have to do with his disability at the moment? Is this just starting, or, you know, it's just something missing there, because Emily made it seem like she never knew that he couldn't read. I mean, he can read, but she just made it seem like he can't read or something. I really, I would like to hear that explained a little more, but I can understand that, you know, that it may not be, but it just seemed weird
You
that
see,
say that.
Deanna in the chat, is that what you said? Shout
Yes.
out in the chat. Yes. Hey, thank you for joining us and commenting and chatting. I did notice that. I'm kind of like, how do you not look at your child's test scores up until the fourth grade and see that he's really poor in reading? Or how is there not a teacher maybe communicating to somebody like, hey, he's really struggling in this area and not up to grade level? You know, how do we get to the fourth grade where there's no indicator of poor performance? And the answer is, I don't know. That's kind of why I feel like the more they discuss the specifics for him, it's a little dicey for me. Like, I don't need to know all this.
Mm-hmm.
Just let me know that Shane's being a nicer parent about stuff. You know, I get it. Shane felt like Luke was being manipulative about using his special needs to kind of get babied. And maybe there is a little bit of truth to that, but acting like he's normal and everything's fine, or don't, you know, I just don't. I know Shane was trying to do the best he could, but I do not think that was probably the most helpful approach. So I'm happy to see that he's adjusting.
Yeah, I had I had all the faith in the world that he would adjust, because sometimes when you see things for what they are, and you know, and there's no significant detriment to what you're doing, you're going to keep going. You know, well, maybe it's this. Well, if it's not this, I'm glad that he's able to pivot and shift so that it's all for the betterment for their kids' progress, and he's not just stuck in that way, you know, which makes things more difficult and harder, you know.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to see that they're having an evolution as they learn more about what Luke needs.
Shout out to the twins over there, Emily and Shane, and the young aspiring whatever she wants to do, actress or
Annabelle. I think she's into cheerleading right now.
Cheerleading, all of the things. Shout out to them and his other two children, of course.
Yes. Yeah, I think the other kids we've seen them maybe like once or twice, but they're not typically on camera, and I don't know, they might live with their mom in Utah.
Are they grown? I mean, how old are these kids?
They're like, I think like 5 to 8 years older than Emily's kids, maybe a little bit more. They're teenagers. They might
Oh,
even be
okay.
more grown than, yeah, Shane was married with 2 daughters before Emily. And I think he was already divorced when they got together.
I haven't seen. Okay, now she's been with. Now Emily did say she's been with Shane for 16 years, so they gotta be at least. I mean, I hope this she ain't divulging nothing she ain't supposed to be divulging. But
Right.
if she been with Shane for 16 years as of January 2025, how old are these kids? You know what I'm
They met,
saying?
yeah, they met, maybe they're young adults now, but yeah.
Girl, okay,
Well, that's
you
why
know,
it
look,
used to always bother me whenever Emily would say to Shane, like, should we have another baby? I want Annabelle to have a sister like I did. And I was always like, she has two. It's disrespectful to act like she doesn't have sisters because she does.
okay, my antennas are working. You keep giving me intel on things, girl. What's the deal? Because is that an issue? Does she not see them other two as her kids, or
Yeah,
they're her kid siblings for her to say something like that?
yeah, that used to always bug me because I'm like, Annabelle does have
Girl,
two sisters.
my
So
antennas are antennaing.
but sometimes I also think that they like will make things like an issue for the show that are really stupid. Like she doesn't really want to have another baby with Shane, but like she needs some kind of storyline to like you know what I mean? Like sometimes there are these little more minor narratives that I just don't necessarily believe,
She's bored.
or that they need something, you know, like filler.
Well, they need to get this situated before trying to add in another child.
No, I think that was a couple seasons ago. I think especially now with what Luke's presenting that they're not trying to have anymore.
That's too much
Plus,
stress, in my opinion. It's too much
oh
stress.
yeah, and plus Emily's sister carried both the twins and Annabelle, and she said I'm not doing that again. So they'd have to find another surrogate, a whole situation.
Why can't Emily carry? What's wrong with her?
She actually lost a set of twins at like over 4 months. It was really tragic. She, I think, had several miscarriages. She did not.
Oh,
Yeah, that was her first season. They
I
brought
missed
out,
that.
yeah, they brought out the stuff. Emily lost a set of twins.
Oh
So she,
Lord,
yeah, yeah, they've had a lot of pregnancy trauma. So yeah, her sister carried the boys and Annabelle.
how did I forget that? Hmm. Well, well, thank God that she was able to,
Yeah.
to do it this way and fulfill everybody's, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, big ups to them.
Right. I know. I'm all, oh, sorry, that was intense. But yes. Anyway.
So now we're coming up to the big scene, child, where all is going on. Gina and Tamara, Tamara and Heather, and Tamara and Jen, and back to Heather and Tamara, and Shannon is waiting for her turn, but never really got one, and it was just a whole lot. And now, right before all that happened, everybody's getting ready, everybody's showing up, and Gretchen and Slade and the baby having a cute little photo shoot, at the same time as the spring fling bling, whatever it's called, is happening. And Shannon gives a call to Gretchen, checking on her, just letting her know that she didn't appreciate, and she pretty much was letting her know she's on her side with this because Shannon doesn't see it for Tamara. Hello.
Yeah. And
Um,
you know,
yeah.
Shannon just doesn't want to get over it. I understand. I mean, she does look a little bit like a stick in the mud, but I also understand, like, because I just wanted to go back to you brought up a really good point. Like, it was a watershed moment when Shannon got her DUI and Tamra chose to treat Shannon the way that she did. It's like
Mhm.
most of us have such a problem because it's like you were kicking a friend while they were down.
Girl.
And And those are the moments that speak to, it doesn't matter how many years you were a good friend. In one of her lowest points of her life, you literally were pouring gasoline looking for a match. So
Uh-huh.
the point is, she's saying, I don't care how good of a friend you keep saying you were to me. In my lowest moment, you were actually part of the problem. And so now you want everything to just be fine and for me to get over it. But like, these are the moments that you have to take accountability, that it's not
Right.
so easy to come back from. And so I
Mhm.
think that Shannon really wants to hang on to that this season, and I don't blame her. However, you know, giving Gretchen sympathy in this moment just kind of makes her look petty. Because Gretchen did open her big mouth. She did.
But I don't blame Shannon. I think in the way Shannon is playing this out and handling this, I think is so appropriate. She's
Yeah.
not putting it in Tamara's face. She's not, being vile with it. She's not using it to play victim. She's just, coexisting, like she says. She's just taking it slowly, and she's still in somewhat of recovery mode for putting herself out there, in this way, to for all of this to be for her to be judged by the whole entire internet, pretty much. It's very difficult to live your life and then to have to talk about something so personal and confidential for the most part, but it is what it is. I think she's handling it well, and if she throws a little shade or she shows compassion or support for Tamara's ops, it is what it is. But it's not like it's not for a good cause. She sees what Tamara's doing because she's, been affected by it, and she doesn't like it. So she's showing support for Gretchen.
Yeah, I get it. You're right. I think you're right. She's staying true to the game. She's not over what happened with Tamara, and she's moving forward. You're right. She is staying consistent.
I'm just saying, but at the same time, Shannon, you did in your confessional say that Gretchen was lying and you never confronted her on it. So I'm waiting for that. I don't know if you just want to just not get into it with her.
Yeah.
But you did say, well, she said it in the car.
Yeah.
Shannon, she said it in the car. Okay,
Yep.
well, I guess I'll just, move on because, anyway. So, child, this spring fling part. Okay, so Emily show up first, right?
Yep.
Emily and Heather, Tamara get into it because Emily finally divulges her part in the slumber party convo where her and Heather, and then she tells Tamara, Heather too. I hate when they do that. Just talk about you. Anyway.
Yep.
So Emily divulges to Tamara that both her and Heather said they don't trust her because she gonna do with the intel what she will, and it may not be in their favor when she does what she does with it. And Tamara takes offense as if that ain't what Tamara do. But then she gets upset as if, again, playing victim to your own bull. It's that's what you do, girl. So why are you upset? I don't get it. Am I missing something?
Well, I did think it was a little bit of an awkward bone carry by Emily. It was like, here,
Mhm.
let me just throw out something negative about you that we don't feel like you're trustworthy. Um, and it's never fun to hear when people were talking about you behind your back, but this is an instance where I'm gonna use, you guys are on a show. Like, like this is part of it. This is where you acting too precious is stupid. You know what I mean? Like, um, but Tamra has been showing this entire season that she's very emotionally immature, right? And
Mm,
so she had a very emotionally immature reaction to it.
typical Tamara.
So you're
TT.
right. I just think Tamra is unable to self-reflect at the audience castmates would like her to. And I don't know if that's changed now as she watches back. I don't know. She was just on recently on Watch What Happens Live. It doesn't really seem like it. Tamara is one of those housewives that is delusional about herself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can't convince her otherwise. And that's kind of part of why a lot of people are successful on the show, right? Is because the self-perception they have of themselves is like unshakable. But that can also put you in a position where people can't stand you because we have to see growth of some kind. We can't see like regression. And I feel like she's more of an a-hole than she's ever been in a lot of ways. But then again, if you look back on her throughout the seasons, Tamara is always an asshole.
Her awareness of self is at a piss poor level, to where she can't
It is.
Acknowledge her wrongs, because she sees it as her being honest.
Yeah.
And that's more important to her, is being honest. No, it's one thing to be honest, but when you tear down someone in the process of you telling them the truth, it goes into a different definition of you, just like you said, being an asshole to them. And maybe that's where her comprehension gets distorted.
Mm-hmm.
She, like you said, she perceives it one way when it really is something else.
Mm-hmm.
But in her eyes, it's her helping or showing them the way. No, you need to help yourself, Mom.
She justifies her behavior instead of taking accountability. She has a really hard time with like the concept of that.
Right. And then Gina shows up. She's like, wait a minute, how is she this upset? We ain't even got the pole cake maker teacher lady. She's just there. She's I'm just helping with the cake. And
Yep.
Emily's trying to talk to her, like, Emily, stop talking to that woman. She is she's not a cast member.
Like I said, Emily, that was a little rough, no lube delivery.
I mean, but I actually appreciated the fact that Emily wanted to talk to Tamara to let her know why she said it. It wasn't just her, I don't trust you, bitch. No, it was like, because you tell that and use it against people, or just the fact that you use it, period. And that's not something I would want. And so that's why I appreciated how Emily came to her. I wish she would have not said Heather too and let Heather do Heather, but this is how they do on the show. But I appreciated that in Emily, not just, at least she told it, because last episode I was like, when's she gonna tell what she said?
Right. Yeah, no, I mean this conversation was coming. It just yeah, but yeah. And then Gina's like, what the yep, well, here we are.
She was like, what's going on? What you mean she mad? But and then Tamara come down talking about, all right, I'm just ready to get this filming on the road. Ciao. Yep. And then Tamara again plays victim when she says, no one shows up for me. Bitch, they in your house right now. What you mean no one shows up for you? They're showing up. They're coming. They're on their way. What do you mean no one shows up for you? That was a telltale sign to me that comes from a deeper place.
It does, because she's unable to see the nuance that, like, I can be your friend. That doesn't mean that I blindly defend you no matter what. Right. Can you not take any feedback? Like, sometimes when, as Heather would say, when you're dead, lie down. Like sometimes maybe you need to wave the white flag and go, maybe I need to look at how I contribute to this. For me personally, as I've gotten older, I make it a point to always look at a situation and ask myself, challenge myself, how am I the asshole in this situation? Because we all contribute to a situation in a friendship, especially in a relationship, right? It's not just straight up right or wrong. It's two people having two different experiences, two different perceptions, all of it. And then sometimes maybe in life you'll get the feedback from a couple of friends that's the same. And that is a time when you should pause and go, maybe there's something that I need to work on because I'm getting feedback from multiple people that I'm kind of behaving in a certain way. She's unable to do that. And that's what everybody is struggling with this season, because they're like, dude, like, it's not just one person telling you that you're being a problem and you're acting so wounded, but maybe it's take a look at yourself.
Now, this part was a trip. So after they kind of squashed enough to, for Tamara to, give some more tea about her so-called friends, she lets them know about the boy band and everything, and how Jen started to follow the boy band member, and the wife of the boy band member sent her screenshots to prove, like, Tamara didn't ask for them. Girl, bye. So she can see, and printed them out, and they're looking like, oh my gosh, she got screenshots. Gina's like, the screenshots. She got the screenshots, y'all. But they're kind of making light and fun. Oh, well, that's kind of hot. You sure nothing happened? Like, wait a minute, this man is married. Hello?
Yes, yeah,
they would like that.
Well, it's really not that big of a deal. This is kind of one of those absurd things that, like, nobody even really takes seriously, right? So it's kind of like, let's make some jokes, but obviously, if you're trying to use it for a storyline, you're not gonna maybe be so willing. But
I want to. She don't come on a show like Gina's ex's wife, like, everybody.
Right.
Everybody come on.
Tamara's little sister wife.
Okay, everybody got a sister wife apparently. Shoot. So yeah, that was, and I can't wait for them to discuss that. And then Heather shows up, and then Shannon. So I'm sorry, they started to follow. Jen started to follow the boy. So pretty much they were discussing it as Jen was coming in the door.
Right.
Okay, then she puts the paper away. Then Heather shows up, of course. She's coming in with her. I think she had some champs, but she didn't announce it. It looked like it was a box of champs she brought, right?
Probably, yeah. Heather, that's what Heather usually brings.
Like, I want to drink this. I'm just going to bring this. And
yeah.
It is what it is. Be comfortable. Then Shannon shows up. What she say? She told Jen she looked like a Quaker. What she say?
Amish whore? I don't know, something like that.
Lord. That's
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah,
it was something about the red or whatever. Yeah, but anyway.
So then they start to so they're all gathering and looking at what's going on. So they go outside and they start to discuss Gretchen and Katie's lie and the difference or the similarities. And then Tamara announces that she's going to meet up with Katie, and that sent Emily into a headspace that she just couldn't believe that Tamara would sit down with such a liar. She lied about this, she lied about that. She gave all these different bullet points and how much Katie hurt her and her children, lying on her children, yada yada. How could you do this? And she said, oh, so you want to sit down with her to gain intel to have against Gretchen. So it's cool to sit with her to be self-served. But in other words, if we, hang out with Gretchen or whatever, it's a problem. I agree with Emily on that.
She also brought up to Tamara, this is why I said I can't trust you, because you're going to hang out with someone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of disagreed with Emily a little bit there, because I was like, Emily, you took information about Katie and you used it against her at the reunion.
There you go.
And then you expected her to, like, get over it and be friends with you on this season. So first of all, none of you are above doing this kind of stuff. I think it showed Emily's hand that she straight up doesn't like Katie and hasn't liked her since the kid incident. Although I will say, in Emily's defense, I would not appreciate what Katie's daughter did. Katie's
Right.
daughter bringing up her children, saying that they were talking crap about Heather, like that just I wouldn't like that situation either. So I kind of understand. Emily doesn't see it for Katie. She just wants Katie to go away. Is in theory a good argument that, this is why I can't trust you because you're going to meet with someone, like you said, but I also feel like they would all do it.
And they kind of did.
Yeah, like it's like you guys meet with whoever it's advantageous for you to meet with, especially when the storyline gets super adversarial. And that's when we as an audience start to complain because when there's too many factions doing too many things, it gets a little too much like war games instead of friendship. But I don't know. I just kind of felt like Emily overreacted a little bit. But at the same time, if it were me, I would call Tamara out, being like, you don't want to give her a fair shot. You just want to get dirt on Gretchen.
That part.
Just call a spade, yo.
That part. And it's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's all to the GOOD because that's what y'all doing. Y'all just doing it better than Cardi B and Nicki Minaj at this point. It's the same thing.
Truly. Yep.
Uh,
So don't act hurt. I mean, like I said, she did kind of give, like, I can understand her argument to Tamara, like, this is why you're not trustworthy. But at the same time, she would have done it if it suited her agenda.
So, they're going back and forth. Then Tamara gets up, walks out, then Heather follows her. Then they argue because she
so
can't
stupid.
believe that Heather would, bring up or not trust her. And she's like, you go off on me. I try and help you. Then you'd ignore me. And then you do all these things. So, yeah, I can't trust you.
What? I think that they're blowing what she said out of proportion. And I think that when Tamara had the nerve to say you were so aggressive when we met, no, bitch, you were high on alcohol and Xanax. You were mean to Heather. Heather tried to help you. You were saying fuck you to her. You were out of your head. And then she even checked on you. You were being a brat, throwing a tantrum. And so she said to you, stop acting like I wasn't a good friend. I tried. You were high and abusive. Because she was telling Gina F you, looking at everybody. You know what I mean? Like she was. Do you even remember how you acted? Because you're acting like you don't. You acted like a child throwing a tantrum. And Heather just tried to point out to you that despite how you were acting, she tried, but you weren't having it. She was not overly aggressive. And then she tried to explain to you that when you have these emotional outbursts, it makes her uncomfortable because she grew up with an emotionally unstable father. And you can't hear any of that crap. And for you to cry, you fake ass piece of work. Oh my, you're really a good friend. I hate it when she does that like crap. I'm like, if whatever you're doing, it comes off fake as hell. I don't care if it's genuine. It doesn't come off as real. You could be genuinely upset. You seem so fake. You and your barely moving forehead that you just pulled tighter than a drum recently. No, this is not working for me at all. This is the worst year of your life. You've had 2 marriages end. You've had like whatever. I mean, I get that Teddy's your friend, but like, and that's very stressful, and your business partner, but like nothing else. This is the hardest year of your life because she's battling cancer. There's not even like terminal prognosis or anything either. Like, calm down, woman.
Then Heather brings up the issue about her IMDb. Then Heather calls Gina in, and then Gina and Heather go back and forth. Gina's like, listen, I didn't know you was all this, that, and a bag of chips, the way that they were discussing and everything. And Heather can't believe that Gina is her friend, doesn't know her acting background, or at least not enough to make these, incorrect and these inaccurate and hurtful comments about Heather. I agree with Heather. How do you, at least, find out since then? You could have said, well, let me go check her out and see. Something to that effect, but not just because Heather's my girl, but I don't like when friends laugh at their friends. Not laugh with, but laugh at, especially when they don't have all the facts. Just look it up. Everything can be looked at pretty much at this point that's in entertainment. So I kind of agree with Heather on that. And then they kind of make up in the moment because Gina doesn't really let things, go too far from the point of impact. But I want Gina to take more accountability in how she plays in her friends' faces. I see that a lot with Gina, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand what Heather was kind of trying to insinuate is that, like, hey, like, I had a successful entertainment career, and it feels like you all are like mocking the fact that, like, I have one that I don't, and it's like, as far as like a working entertainer goes, Heather's had a long career, including being on reality TV, including what she's done with Terry. I'm not saying that she's out here winning Academy Awards, but like she has worked. And like, so I do understand why she's like, put a little respect on my name, bitches. I do think she tends to kind of pick on Emily or Gina, like, how dare you? Sometimes Heather like gets a little bit over offended for a storyline, you know what I mean? But I think that she just had her feelings hurt that like they don't take her seriously as an actress, and she is one.
Leave my Heather alone, y'all. She ain't getting into nobody. Leave her alone. Shoot.
No, she's trying really hard this season to be like a supportive friend and all of that. And I think she's even stood up to the criticism that she has been too easy on Tamara and like defended her. And so that's why Tamara coming after Heather is even more absurd, because it's like that's one of the friends that has like tried to support you.
So then they start to make the cake, child, or not put the dollop on the cake, and just after they argue, they come in finding everybody making the cake. So they pretty much do a okay job. It was sugar-free, taste-free, gluten-free, free cake. I thought, actually, I said that seems like a fun thing to do. Yeah, I'm gonna see what's up. See if I can go make makeup, do a little cake decorating class or something. I think that's interesting. I would go. If I was invited to something like that, it seems like fun.
Was it really sugar-free and gluten-free and all that? I didn't even pay attention.
Yeah, it was gluten-free, sugar-free. I'm just saying taste-free just to be funny. But yeah, all that. It was a free cake.
I don't want that.
Listen, certain things just need to be what they is. I ain't saying it can't be, but dag nabbit, give me a cake.
If we're good,
School, whatever age, whatever. Duncan Hines, somebody.
No, I want real cake. Don't mess with my emotions. I want sugar in it. I want gluten in it. I want fat in it. I want cake.
Butter.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't gonna eat the whole piece. Just get you a couple pieces and move on. Just if you're thinking about, just get. But I besides allergies and the obvious, medical conditions, girl, eat you some cake and shut up.
Right? Yes.
And all y'all can eat a piece.
Really? You all have gone too far. It's only like you only. Piece. Yeah, really. We know it's only going to be a couple of bites because of Ozempic. But still.
Anyway.
Don't play with my emotions. Give me the real thing.
Then Jen, Tamara bust her out about following the boy band member, and she just totally lied to them people. I just wanted to follow him. I mean, I just wanted to see what he's all about. No, in your confessional, Heifer, you said you wanted to see if he would talk to you. Like, Heifer, who? He would talk to us before he talked to you. Talking about if he see her name. I still don't know her last name, and I reviewed the show.
Pedranti.
whatever.
But no, he doesn't give a shit. He does not. He doesn't. He is a washed up. He's not even a washed up. He's a boy band, former boy band. I'm sorry, that's not fair. I don't know what he's doing down in Orange County. He could be very much still doing things,
Hey, you
producing.
don't know her.
Yeah, he had a career. He doesn't give a crap, and he's obviously check and see if Tamara's still friends with him before you do something stupid like that. You know, do a little recon. Like you could have saved yourself the time. All you did was get caught looking like single white female because like I said, I forgot. It kind of goes toward that narrative, you know, like I don't necessarily think you're stalking Tamara like that, but you didn't help your case with this kind of stupid move.
And I love how Tamara commented against Jen about Jen. Oh, and you printed it out, and Tamara and her confession said, "Yeah, I'm old. I need to see it, bitch." Yeah, Tamara. Now this I'm with Tamara on. Like, why? And everybody was like, "You followed him immediately after." Like, how much of a stalker can you be? Thirsty ass fan.
Well, it was just like I think it was like I said, I think it was Heather that's like, why did you follow him? You didn't have to follow him. You could have gone and looked at his account.
That
Like
part.
just, you know, if you wanted to see the dirt on him, go look at his Instagram account.
That part.
But the following, her justifying, oh well, maybe he talked to me. I really, you think a lot of yourself.
And that's why they say their criminals are done. Because they make mistakes, people who are just wrong and malicious intent trying to self-soothe their savage beast. She was wrong as 3 left shoes and was caught in the process because, like Heather said, all you had to do was just not just look through it. It's open. It's for everybody to watch. So for you to click and add them as your follower, whatever the case, that was the dumb mistake that you made.
You know what I realized? That proves that she believes Gretchen, or that she's like Team Gretchen, because she probably didn't assume that Tamara was still friends with his wife and would be sent that information.
You know what? I don't even think she thought that far into it.
Possibly, because I do think
that's smart.
I was about to say I get a little bit of a dumb vibe from her sometimes. No offense, Jen, but
she just found out how to add and subtract for her bank account last year. Ugh. Hello.
Well, she needs to get a better handle on follow, unfollow.
I'm sure she knows now. Oh, okay. I don't have to follow them to see their account. Stupid. Then Heather and Tamara again have an argument. and all throughout all these arguments, Shannon is not being addressed, even though she kind of gave the little bit of the ammunition, but at the same time, Shannon is giving her snide comments. Here she is with the evidence. Are you serious? Screenshots for real? Here she goes again. It's not stop with this lady. Can we just do? And then she said, I need another drink. Did you get that? Oh my God. That wasn't a good look, Shannon. Sorry. Stop drinking in public. Please, please. Just drink at the house or, social settings. But I don't know. I just don't think Shannon should be drinking in public for the next 3 years, in my opinion. I'm just saying.
She doesn't.
You're stressed and you want to go have a drink. That doesn't look good, Mama.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we all know Shannon wants to act like she didn't have a drink, like she doesn't have a drinking problem anymore. And everybody else is going, we're watching you. And if you wanted to really be smart about it, you would just keep that away from your job. But anyway, yes, I did catch that.
Because remember, Karen didn't drink after that incident before everybody found out what really happened on that police cam footage. That was smart. That was the one smart thing Karen did, was not drink on camera.
Or right after
in the public. It was on water, juice, coffee, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and I think there are other like Jenna Lyons has been accused of actually being a drinker. Yeah, and just not doing it on camera because, you don't control your image that way.
Right. And these ladies have a lot to lose, especially when there's no, I mean, let's just put it on out there. When you have a great streaming income coming in, you don't want to mess that up.
No,
So,
but yeah, like I said, I just think Shannon is in denial about, she does not want to be limited from her mistake. That's what I just, it's like, that's the highest level statement.
I'm sorry, I missed that. The L word you said. Limited by her mistakes? What?
Yes.
Oh,
She doesn't want to be limited. She wants to be able to drink as much as she wants to in these socially stressful situations. I mean, I get it. I think that there's like a certain kind of housewife that can't engage in this high level combat without alcohol because they need that disassociative element to it to do it, right? Or it's more less stressful if they drink. I think we saw that with Dorinda. Like, we see certain people who like, what I'm so Sonia, I mean, shoot, anyway, so I just think Shannon doesn't want to be limited. I think Shannon wants to indulge as much as she needs to get through a scene or to get through a situation for her comfort level, and only time will tell whether or not that's something that she can be the steward of anymore. Because you're right, it would be much safer if she didn't, even for this season, she didn't drink. Just this season. Or even last season, for Christ's sake. Because she drank last season too.
Yeah, especially when Tamara dragged her to the bar.
Yeah, well, don't get me started, because Tamara's the villain this year about substances. Tamara, you're the one. Tamara, it's you. You said you barely drank this season, and that's a lie, because you've had plenty. You took them to a winery, for Christ's sake. And then you literally told Shannon you would not drink around her anymore. And then you had one eye open because you mixed in pills and booze. And then you're getting called out for taking Shannon to sneak her off to get drinks because you want to butter her up because you don't want her to be mad at you anymore and you need a friend in this game. You're literally willing to use the poison that you condemned her for to get her on your side. You have no room to talk in any way, shape, or form. Shame on you and your hypocrisy. Period.
Period, Pooh.
Period.
That's all my notes. You got something else you want to say?
No, I think I just emptied the clip there, didn't I?
Girl, look, and pick your purse up off the floor.
Yeah. That's right. It's a new phrase, lady. Get your act together. Pick your purse up off the floor.
Girl. And with cream. Let me stop.
I know. And that didn't look like a dirty little floor.
Girl. And a long strap she could have put on a chair. Again, like
put it on the table. It was a little purse.
The thought process. I just don't think she's smart. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Girl. I'll see it for you.
No, listen, I am looking forward to next episode where Eddie gives the finger. That looks quite compelling.
Who got what?
Did you see it's the preview for next episode? There is a party. I think Gretchen's throwing it, but Tamara and Eddie are there. And there is a confrontation where like Gretchen and Slade, I think, are coming up to talk to Tamara and Eddie, and Tamara's like, no, I'm not talking to you. I'm not doing this. And then as they're leaving, Gretchen yells something and Eddie turns around and gives her the finger.
I didn't see that part. You know what? Sometimes the next episode preview will get cut off.
Yes.
What I'm watching, but you know what? Miami comes on after. I'm pretty sure it's at the beginning of I'm gonna see if it's
you gotta see it, girl. Cause
that's what I hate about these some of these platforms. They don't show you everything. They kind of
I agree.
Like,
yep.
I'm gonna go back and watch it, but ooh, Eddie, okay, you get a little more screen time, okay.
Eddie's in the mix because normally Eddie's the one trying to drag Tamara out of it.
You know what I've noticed a few times when we say things, then the next time they come on, it's some type of answer to what we said.
Yes.
Are y'all listen, watching, and listen, or is it just a coinky dink? I don't know. Or shout out to Nene Leaks. Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence?
Shout out to Nene Leaks.
Anyway, I think that's it.
Yep, I think we have thoroughly exhausted this episode, just like Tamara's exhausted our patience.
Thanks for everybody. Again, we love the interactive, going back and forth and all those good things. Keep it coming.
Thank you. We are grateful for you.
Yes, even in the replay, gang. Let's run up these numbers. Still trying to get monetized, y'all. So we are looking for more subscribers, and we're going to do more shows. Of course, we got Potomac coming up. We got Beverly Hills coming up. Married to Medicine coming through. Selling Sunset off of Netflix. Reasonable Doubt is off of Hulu. Southern Charm on Bravo is coming through. It's just going to be a great time, which will be had by all. Yes. Now, before we go, please let everybody know where they can find you when you ain't talking ish with me over here.
You can catch me on Facebook, Psychic Erin Boyd. You can also catch me on Instagram and Threads, Psychic_ELB. Underscore is that little, you hit the shift and it's that little flat dash. Anyway, hit me up in the DMs if you would like to get a psychic reading. I definitely offer a discount to the aunts and unks.
Ooh, yes. And if you notice, y'all, our voices have just been so much better. We told you. Because the show must go on.
Yep. Straight up, COVID got me. My daughter brought it home from middle school when they started school. And yes. And you had a terrible bronchial thing. So everybody's
germs is just out of this world, alien-like. They child.
Everybody stay safe and healthy.
Well, with that being said, y'all, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch y'all next time. Bye. Have a great weekend, y'all. Bye. All day, all day. All day.